Hello functions classes, and we are going to be covering adding rational expressions. So to add a rational expression or to subtract, you must get common denominators. So when we're adding and subtracting rational expressions, it's the same as adding and subtracting fractions. We have to have common denominators. Once we have a common denominator, we can simplify the numerators and add and subtract them, because we don't have to worry about the denominator once we find a common one. And then we're going to simplify our result. So go ahead and get this in your notes. Go ahead and hit pause. Here are the steps to adding rational expressions. I'll do a separate one for subtracting, which will just have one additional step. So go ahead and hit pause and put this in your notes. Okay, so here I have all the steps listed here, and we're going to kind of work through this problem. So go ahead and get this problem, hit pause, and put this in your notes. Okay, so now that you have this in your notes, the first thing we want to do is factor the denominator. So x minus 4, well, that doesn't factor any further. There's no greatest factor greater than 1, and the x is positive, so I don't need to worry about it. And there is no way to factor this one. So my LCD, the first thing I'm going to write, so typically I think of these in parentheses. I think of those in parentheses because I can't break them up. So the first thing I'm going to do, because my lowest common denominator is always going to have the same denominator of this, if not more stuff. So I'm going to write the first one I see, which is x minus 4. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to have an x minus 4. Well, this doesn't have an x minus 4. I'm going to add whatever's new, which is x plus 4. Now what I'm going to do is find the domain. And I find the domain the same way I have with everything we've been learning up till now. So I'm going to take the x minus 4 and set it not equal to 0, and the x plus 4 and set it not equal to 0, and solve. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides, subtract 4 from both sides. I'm kind of solving both of them at the same time, so then I get x is not equal to a positive 4, and x is not equal to negative 4. So my domain for this particular rational expression, when I add them together, is going to be all real numbers, except x cannot equal negative 4 or positive 4. Okay, so now I've done steps 1, 2, 3. Now I have to look at this fraction first. So I'm going to write 2 over x minus 4. And again, I'm going to put it in parentheses because I know I can't break it up. So if I look at this fraction and I look at my lowest common denominator, what am I missing? Well, I'm missing this x plus 4. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by x plus 4. Now with fractions, if I do that to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So I'm going to do that to the top, x plus 4. So now I have, these are parentheses. Okay, so now I have x plus 4 over x plus 4, which is a big 1, right? It's just 1 times all of this. Then I have my plus, and I'm going to look at the second fraction. So 2 over x plus 4. Well, now what am I missing? Well, I'm missing the x minus 4. So I need to multiply by x minus 4. But again, whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So then I need to multiply by x minus 4 on the top. So now I have my lowest common denominator. I have it here and I have it here. So then I'm going to write that right here. So I have x plus 4, and I'm going to leave it in factored form. I'm not going to worry about distributing until the end. And then plus, and then I have the same thing. X plus 4, x minus 4. X plus 4, x minus 4. Now I just have to worry about the numerator. Well, now I've got to distribute because I'm multiplying, right? So 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 4 is 4. And then here 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times negative 4 is, 8. And 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So now it says, so we've done that. We've found it with the big 1. We simplified the numerator by distributing. No, we haven't done that. So we're going to do that. So now that we have our lowest common denominator, that is just going to be part of our answer. So I can write x plus 4 times x minus 4. and that's going to be our denominator. And now I need to combine like terms. So I have 2 plus 2x, which is 4x. Then I have 8 plus negative 8, which is 0. So then I can look to see if I can factor the numerator. I cannot factor the numerator, so this is our final answer for this one. Okay, so now we're going to go through this one. This one's a bit of a doozy. I'm actually going to erase what I have written, and then I'm going to go through this with all of you. So the first thing we have to do is factor the denominator. So I'm going to do box and diamond. I have my a squared, my negative 4, then my diamond, which is 3a, and then I get negative 4a squared. And we have 2 and 2, no, so I need a positive 3, so 4a and negative a. So positive 4a, negative 1a, and I get, they have an a in common. A times a is a squared, a times 4 is 4a, and a times negative 1 is negative 1. So my numerator, my denominator for that one is negative a, and then we are going to have a minus 1 times a plus 4. Then I have to do the same thing here, and this actually, let me fix that. This should say plus. So now I'm going to do this. So now I'm going to continue with the other one, and I'm going to do it in a different color so you can see it. So I'm going to factor that. So I have a squared, 12, 7a. I end up with 12a squared. 3a plus 4a gets 7a, so I have 3a, 4a, so they both have an a in common, a times a, 3a, a times 4, and 3 times 4. So then I have plus, and I didn't do anything with that 4a, now I have plus a plus 4 times a plus 3. So now what I have to do is find my lowest common denominator. So I'm going to write these in a different color so you can see it. Let me see if I can get there. So if I'm talking about my lowest common denominator, the first thing I'm going to do is look at this one. And I know that I'm going to have at least what's in the denominator here. So the first thing I'm going to write is the first thing I see, which is a minus 1. Then I have an a plus 4. So a plus 4. Then I'm going to look over here. I already have an a plus 4, so I don't need to write that again, because it's right here. But I don't have the a plus 3, so I need to add what's new. So a plus 3. So this is my lowest common denominator. Now I'm going to take that, now that I have it, I'm going to go ahead and find my domain. So a minus 1 is not equal to 0. A plus 4 is not equal to 0, and a plus 3 not equal to 0, and solve. So go ahead and do that on your own. Okay, so now that I've got that, I've got my domain is all real numbers, but a cannot equal 1, negative 4, and negative 3. And you get that by solving. So I would add 1 to both sides. I get a cannot equal 1, and those things. So if you need help on that, please ask your teacher, either myself or Ms. Wadley. Okay, so now I'm looking at this. I've already rewritten this. I'm looking at my LCD, and I have an a minus 1, so I don't need to worry about that. I have an a plus 4, so I don't need to be worrying about that. But I have this a plus 3 that I do need to worry about. So I need to add that. So I'm going to multiply this by a plus 3. And if I do that to the bottom, I'm going to have to do that to the top. So a plus 3. And then this one over here is missing, I have an a plus 4, I'm missing the a minus 1. So I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to write it right here just because I have a little bit more space. So I need to multiply by a minus 1. But if I do that to the bottom, I have to do that to the top. So a minus 1. And again, I'm putting parentheses around these because I know I can't separate them. So now what we have is we have our lowest common denominator. So we have, I'm just going to write it in this order, the same order as I wrote it right here. So I have a minus 1 times a plus 4 times a plus 3. So I wrote it in the same exact order. Now I've got to distribute this negative a. So negative a times a is negative a squared. Negative a times a positive 3 is minus 3a. And then I've got to do this one. So I have positive 4, so the plus sign, 4a times a, which is plus 4a squared. And then 4a times negative 1 is a minus 4a. And then I just need to combine like terms. So I've got this a squared right here, and this 4a squared. So again, my answer is going to have a minus 1, a plus 4, a plus 3. So I get 3a squared, and then I have a negative 3a and a negative 4a, and so that is negative 7a. Okay, and then I can factor that. Yep, I can factor out an a. So I would get a times 3a minus 7 all over a minus 1, because it says to factor the numerator. After I've simplified the numerator, and I need to factor it, a plus 4, a plus 3. Once you get your answer, you don't have to go, once you get to your lowest common denominator, you don't have to worry about it. It stays the same throughout. There is nothing that factors any further, so this is my final answer. So that one was a bit of a doozy. I want to go ahead, and if you have any questions, go ahead and get these in your notes. These are the examples we did in class. I will put the answers in really quick, so you can check them, but I do want you to get these in. So 6 over m plus 4m, y over y minus 2 plus. Now this one right here, this one's weird. We have a negative y, and we don't ever want that. So first what we're going to do, if I multiply this whole thing by negative 1 over negative 1, then I'm going to get a positive y, and I can rewrite it. So we're going to have y over y minus 2 plus 8 times negative 1 is negative 8 over negative 1 times negative y is a positive y. Negative 1 times a positive 2 is a negative 2. So make sure when we're looking at this, our variables in our denominator are positive and they're written in standard form, so that you have your variable with that, or the variable with the highest degree written out, or the highest exponent. All right, go ahead and do all of these, and then this was the last one you needed to do, and we'll have you check your work. Okay, here are the answers and the work. So hit pause, and you can get these in your notes. Hit pause, and you can get these in your notes. Hit pause, and you can get this in your notes. Oh, I didn't finish writing this one. All right, so I will finish this with you guys. So then I have, so this one was a bit of a doozy, because I had to multiply. I got my x times x minus 2. Okay, so I have my lowest common denominator. I can go ahead and write that here, which is going to be x times x minus 2. Then I need to combine my like terms. So I have 5x and an x minus 2, and then I have a 2. So 5x plus x is 6x. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And then I just need to see, what do I have exactly on the top and the bottom? Well, I don't have any 6's, but do I have an x? And by itself, I do. So this is a big 1. So then my final simplified answer is going to be 6 over x minus 2. All right, and the reason why I didn't need to put parentheses around this is because I distributed the 1 already. So 1 times x is x, and 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So I just wanted to point that out. All right, make sure you get this in your notes, and if you have any questions, make sure you ask them in class. Thank you. Have a great day.